All right. Back with another one of those block rockin' hauls. Um, so I'm a little under the weather today, and if I'm being honest, that's probably what led to me doing this video. I've been home most of the day. All I did was go out and hit the post office and pick up what was a very, very disappointing haul. Um, Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. I'm in the middle of a return dispute because somebody sent a book. So I got a lot with Dave Stevens comics in it. The shipping was horrible. It was just in a bubble envelope um, in this bag thing. Um, and this right here would probably be the book that I bought it from, except look at that book. That is not the book that was pictured in the images. Oh my god, and it stinks. The stench of even just pulling that out for a second is nauseating. But yeah, the book that was imaged would I'd say would be about a fine, and that is not it. Um, whatever. I don't need to mention his name. You'll see some comments on the feedback, and I saw it. But sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. But so hopefully those will be returned. But right here in the picture, in the image, is All Crime Comics #1 and #2. Bruce Timm covers. I wound up getting 2 of each. I'm probably gonna do it one more time. I found an online seller who has them listed for $4 a piece, plus shipping. The #1, I'm gonna have to get #1. #1 is probably the best cover. So I'm gonna have to track that down. I'll probably wind up paying $20 or so for that on eBay. So some of the stuff I got today, I think this is like Airboy Volume 7, #8. I think I paid like $22 for that. Golden Age comic. I mean, it honestly, there's some water damage, and I kind of wanted to see what I could do with cleaning this. There's no real reason I got it other than it was cheap. So I'm gonna go through this, and there's gonna be stuff kind of all over the map. Gold, silver, bronze, modern. None of it's gonna be dollar books. I'll probably save what I believe to be the best purchase for last. And obviously, I'm a little slow getting into this, so I'll try to get going through this. So this will be easy enough. I wound up grabbing these from a friend, Rocketeer Adventure Magazine #2, Dave Stevens cover. For some reason, that was one that I didn't have. I thought I had it, but I didn't. So I picked that up from a friend. We share an office space, and he wanted to give me some books to cover the rent for this month. I got some Dave Stevens, and then all of these I had just picked up for $5 a piece. It's just bronze horror. Nothing special. I don't know. I kind of saw what looked to be an uptick in bronze horror, so I had kind of made an effort to start spotting these in the wild, and then he just happened to be putting together a box of like I like that cover of Bronze Age stuff that he was going to stick out at shows for $5 a piece. Actually, I do like this book, Adventures into Fear 24, the first meeting of Blade and Morbius. Not that they'll, it's unlikely that they meet on screen due to Morbius being Sony, but still a cool book. And so some of this stuff is original stories, some of it reprints older stuff. So that's it for the horror that I got from him. Jungle Action #1, Avengers 195. I believe that's the first cameo appearance of Taskmaster. Astonishing Tales 29. That's the reprint of the first appearance of Guardians of the Galaxy. And then he had Batman 247 in there for some reason. I picked up this off of eBay, Snatch Comics #2. And I just happened to see an auction that was ending. I knew nothing about it other than it was a Scrum independent issue. So I checked on GPA, and there were strong sales. I mean, it was kind of all over the place, but it seemed like, in almost any condition, it graded, it sold for a decent amount. So at $22, it kind of seemed like a no-brainer. After looking into it a little more today, it appears that is either I think a third or a fourth print, and that does not command the same value, but whatever. I mean, still at $22, I'm not losing out. So this is Captain America 110, the first appearance of Madam Hydra. I think, so I got that off eBay also. I think I paid like $65 for that. Now I buy books like all over the place. Most of what I've shown in hauls so far has been purchases from the wild, but I do a fair bit of online shopping, and I'll honestly, like, it's not just eBay. If I'll buy comics anywhere. So this, I paid $7. The first Quincy Harkness. I got where is it? Should be right here. A beat up Tomb of Dracula number 12, the second appearance of Blade. I paid $12 shipped for that. This I just happened to see in an auction. Amazing Spider-Man Annual number 16, the first Monica Rambeau, but it happened to be the Canadian price variant, so I snagged that for $35. Invincible Iron Man 54. This is actually a pretty clean copy. I paid $50 for that. That's the first appearance of Moondragon. The moment I'm drawing a blank as to what she was called in this issue. Madam McEvil or something like that. But that's her first appearance. This is Dell number 375. I paid $25 for it, and I believe that is the first solo John Carter. Sorry for the slight delay. My computer's going a little nuts over here. Masters of the Universe number 1. I picked this up for $24. That's the Canadian price variant. Right here, the 95 cents Canadian newsstand. So let's see. First Jubilee, X-Men 244. I paid $23 for that. I don't, right now I'm going a little slower than I'd like, just to let you guys know what I paid. Maybe you guys care, maybe you don't care, but I was always interested when I watched videos and seeing what people paid, just for the simple fact that, just so I knew what other people were doing. And I quickly found that I couldn't just buy everything at market. Obviously, some things I buy at market, some things I buy over market. I'm not immune to overpaying for something. So maybe you guys are interested, maybe you're not. You can let me know if I should skip with the prices. But like I said, it was always something I was interested in. And this is X-Men number 16. I paid $94 for that. Whatever. I like solid titles like Batman, X-Men, Amazing Spider-Man, and I always just pick up issues when I can. Ghost Rider number 1. I grabbed this for $300. It's a pretty nice copy, although there is a bit of tape pull in that area, which is disappointing, but it is what it is. I kind of didn't think that this was one of those books that it just didn't seem like I was gonna get, because I paid $300 for my Marvel Spotlight 5, and it's just hard for me to go and pay the more or the same later on for someone's first solo title. But I've been trying to get my hands on that long enough that I just went ahead and did it. So this is Marvel Superheroes number 12, the first appearance of Captain Marvel. I picked that up for $38. I think due to Miss Marvel and her kind of taking the spotlight, this is kind of an undervalued issue. Fantasy Quarterly number 1. The first appearance of ElfQuest. I paid $105 for this. I almost returned it. It wasn't packaged well, and took a little bit of spine damage in the mail. And at the time, I honestly just couldn't decide. I had a lot going on. I think it was around Christmas, and I just couldn't decide if I wanted to bother returning it. And in the end, I just decided to keep it, just because I didn't feel like dealing with it. If it was my first copy, I probably would have definitely kept it, but it isn't. So this is coverless, Submariner number 21 from 1946. So I paid $92 for a coverless comic, which might sound insane to some people. But coverless comics can still hold value. I think it's important for the first page, the splash page, whatever it's called, to have some interest going on, and I think that one there fit the bill. Now this is I don't even know why I'm showing you this. This is what, Aquaman 35, I believe. It's the first appearance of Black Manta. I paid $12 for that. It's basically a coverless comic, and I kind of felt like if it was coverless, it might have sold for more than it wound up selling for. So, whatever. Supernatural Thrillers number 5, the first appearance of the Living Mummy. I think I paid just under $100 for that. I don't know. This was another book. Sometimes, like, a book will just evade me for long enough that I decide that I need it, and then buy it at market. This was one of those books that, like, I wasn't finding cheap, so I eventually just paid for it. No real reason I bought this. I think this is actually a first appearance of Medusa or something like that, or the death. I don't know. I feel like there was a first appearance in this, but I'm not sure. This was just a book that I had picked up in a dollar bin one time, and then I sold it, and for some reason when I saw it again, I wanted it back. This one I paid $15 for shipped. I'm not sure if the one that I purchased and sold, I sold more for that, or not. So this could have been a a losing transaction for me, but I'm not even positive. So Amazing Spider-Man number 70. Paid $30 for that. And this is just one of those things where I, you know, if I come across an ASM, what seems like a decent price when I'm in buying mode, I tend to grab it. Batman Harley Quinn, I paid $30 for this. I purchased a copy from my local comic shop for $30, graded it as a 9.8, and then sold it. The prices, I mean, they probably came back down like everything else, but the prices had gone way up, and I was kind of a little bummed with myself for selling it. So I bought this one back at $30. It is definitely, I looked it over, and there's no chance of getting a 9.8 with that. So it's probably something, you know, that I'm just going to put away and keep until I decide that I don't want it. This is Planet Comics number 63. You know, had a bit of a rough life. Right here, there's a tear that goes entirely through the book. I paid $130 for that shipped, which I thought was a decent price. I mean, it's tough to find anything remotely with remotely any eye appeal, you know, in that price range. So I grabbed it. This is Zip Comics number 28, and now this one is in really, really rough shape. The cover is like completely split. But you know, aside from the horrible condition, it's got a lot going for it. Let me see if I can see a date. No, I'm not sure of the date. You know, but it's got a lot of the stuff that people look for in a nice golden age cover, with a little bit of bondage, the you know, World War II subject matter with the swastika, and I'm pretty sure that you know, sometimes when I purchase something, I'll check GPA, and I'm pretty sure any complete issue went for a good bit of money, and that was what led to me grabbing it. So now here is Batman Adventures Mad Love. So now I remember, and I might have mentioned it before, but somebody who sold a lot at conventions would do a report and always said how well the jumpsuit Harley Quinn stuff had sold for him, and that's something that always sticks in my mind. You know, it's early Harley if it's the jumper. This I paid $32 for. I think I won it at auction, and the real reason that I got it, I didn't even know. That I didn't pay $150. I just put it in this to show easily, was that it was a newsstand. I didn't even know a newsstand of this existed, but clearly it does. So here we have Marvel Premiere number 27. I believe it's the first solo Satana. The show on, what was it, Hulu, with her and her brother was horrible, but I still think she's a cool character. So I'll pick those up if I see them cheap, and $9 seemed like the right price. Now here's a book that I always struggle with. Batman 181. I don't think that I've ever had a copy with the pinup. And again, that just comes down to me being cheap and wanting to buy things for a bargain. The I've gone through a few copies, and if I'm being honest, this is probably on the nicer end. I typically buy rags of this, and the one I have now is disgusting. So I'll probably sell that one, and that's typically what I do. I buy one, and I know somebody will appreciate it, and I sell it, and then I wish I had one, and then I buy one. But so for now, I'm gonna hang on to this one. I'm gonna sell the real dog copy that I got. I paid $153 for this one, which seemed fair. And to me, like, this has been something that's been on my radar, and I've wanted a really nice complete copy. Because like, all of the issues in this area, you're looking at the first Silver Age appearance of this one, the first Silver Age appearance of that one, that command money. And this is the only thing in there that is the first appearance. There was no Golden Age Poison Ivy. And let's be honest, Poison Ivy is a staple character in Batman. So this is a book I'm always wanting to get a nice copy of. So I think this is Popeye 1. Yeah, Popeye number 1, from 1948. I believe this might be the first, it says it right there, specially written and drawn for this book. Everything before this was reprints from like a comic strip. And this is the first actual original comic book material. So Dead of Night, number 11. This is another book I always buy and sell and buy and sell and buy and sell. This one I paid $24 for, which is probably on the higher end of what I typically pay for this issue. But for a while, I was, I'd always find it for like $10 or so. But that hasn't happened in a while, so I decided to just grab this one. Sometimes I buy something and sell it, and I'm good. I feel like I've owned it, and that's fine. And then other times I really wish that that I had it back. And now, so I'm feeling like there's no way that I'm gonna get through everything I want to get through. So maybe I'll just leave most of the Dave Stevens stuff for that next video I've been saying I wanted to do. Here's Supergirl number 1. I actually have a copy of this and then went to sell it, and it didn't go for what I expected it would go for, so I kind of just hung on to it, and then thought about selling it again, and then I wound up seeing this copy, I think for $8, and so I bought it again. Amazing Spider-Man 149, the first Ben Reilly. I think I got that for $20. No, I paid $25 shipped for that. ASM 83, the first Schemer. That was kind of, they said something about a rip in it, and I thought in the images, I thought it was at the spine, but there's a spine tear there that I'm not too psyched about. But it is what it is. Tank Girl Apocalypse, number 4 of 4. That's just a Brian Boland cover. Lois Lane, Superman's Girlfriend, number 105, first appearance of Rose and Thorn. Paid about 20-ish for that. I've been getting more into like indie stuff for some reason. Cocaine, I tried to do a little editing. I don't know the protocol for YouTube, but Cocaine Comics #3. Last Gasp. It just seems to go for a decent amount, and I found one, you know, at a random place online that it wasn't listed for what the rest of them were listed for. I bought these 3 in a lot. Bigfoot Bill. But this is the one I really bought it for. They call him Evil. This is from the creator of Earthworm Jim. This predates Earthworm Jim, and I guess he's the bad guy in Earthworm Jim. I didn't realize how much those first Earthworm Jim comics go for. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's about long enough. So I'm gonna skip a bunch of books, but I'll show you the book that I really made this purchase for, or was excited about in this haul. And this is not it. Amazing Fantasy 9.8, #1. First appearance of Anya. I think I got that for $100 shipped. But this is the book that I was excited about. So I tried to purchase a Captain America, like it was like in the 30s or 40s, and then my shop wound up sending it off to get graded, and I tried to make a deal with him, and he wound up selling it at a show, and I've been pretty disappointed about that. So I saw this, and I paid up for this. I think I paid just over $1,000 for this. Alex Schomburg cover. You know, it's got the Captain and Bucky. It's got the bondage. Bloody cover, skull and crossbone, Cap stabbing somebody through the chest. You know, it's really not what you think when you think Captain America. But so I was excited to get this, and this is one of those books that, like, you know, I'm just gonna put away and enjoy owning, and you know, look at every once in a while. I've kind of changed my collecting, like, you know, if I feel like if I can replace it, then it's not a big deal to sell it. The stuff that I'm gonna have a tough time replacing is the stuff that I'm not too excited to sell. But like I said, there's a bunch of books I didn't get to, but I feel like this already went way longer than I wish. I need to work on that. But that's it for now. Hope you enjoyed.